How's everybody doing? Good. Good. Ladies, if you'll excuse me for a second, I need to talk to the gentleman. Is that okay? Okay, on your behalf.
Did you hear this already or no?
Gentlemen, I think we need to be a little bit more honest with our compliments. Okay? I think we need to tell the ladies why we like the things we like. I'll give you an example. I like that sweater. It brings out your daddy issues. See? That's a result. Here's another example. I really love it when you wear those jeans. They bring out your propensity to become involved with men who treat you poorly. Not you. You seem like a nice man. One more example and then we'll move on. Did you just get a haircut? Because it really frames the fact that you were only 3 missed hugs away from being a stripper. Good. I'm glad we all learned something here tonight. Speaking of torturing women, I occasionally like to drive around with my wife. Now, when I drive around with my wife, she has a tendency to disagree with me verbally. And when she disagrees with me verbally, I have a tendency to feel oppressed. And I think the natural human tendency, when you feel oppressed, is to write a spiritual. I've written a spiritual. Would you like to hear it? I'm glad you said yes. Why you gotta tell me how to drive? I know where the restaurant is. Now, when she loses her mind and starts freaking out on me, why are you such an asshole? This, by the way, is a universal symbol for my wife is freaking out on me. Why do you have to be such an asshole? What I like to do underneath that is just a reprise. So, what that does, besides add drama and cinema to the situation, is that says, honey, I'm still not listening, but I am still being a dick. How to be a dick with Rick. So, we got a GPS to kind of alleviate some of these tensions on our relationship. And I was flipping through the voice options on the GPS, and I realized that none of them are cool. And you need a nice, soothing voice when you're driving through those bad neighborhoods. Maybe something like, I don't know, Anthony Hopkins. So maybe when you get to those bad neighborhoods, you could say something like, in 300 feet, you're going to reach a fork in the road. What will you do when you reach the fork in the road? Well, I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to make left. Or perhaps you'll stay right. But whatever you decide, no, there could be dire consequences.
Guys and everything.
You feel better. But I come to my Anthony Hopkins by way of Morgan Freeman. That's impossible. It's not. If you're drunk enough and trying to do a Morgan Freeman voice, apparently you sound like Anthony Hopkins. I'll give you the example. One time I had a friend say to me, can you do a voicemail message for me in the style of Morgan Freeman? I said, I'll try. And this is what I came up with. Sarah can't come to the phone right now. She decided it was either time to get busy shopping or get busy driving. Now, not a great Morgan Freeman, but when I got done, I was proud, and she said, your Morgan Freeman sounds a hell of a lot like Anthony Hopkins. Maybe it does. But that got my brain swirling. I want you to let that swirl in your brain. What if Anthony Hopkins had gotten any of the Morgan Freeman gigs? Go. Who got to march with the Penguins first? It was her. She got to march with the Penguins first. It's so terrifying. It'll keep you up for days. It's so terrifying I don't even have to, okay, I'll do it for you. These magnificent creatures, these birds who think they're fish, traverse unspeakable terrain until they get to a place where no life is sustained. It couldn't possibly be. So we get to the restaurant. Keep up. Costa Rican place, nice joint. And I hear the server at the next table say to a patron, Gonorific. Now, I don't know if Gonorific is one of the Costa Rican words I don't know. There's a couple. Or if perhaps the Costa Rican people have taken it upon themselves to take horrible venereal diseases and turn them into positive adjectives. If that's the case, well then I think we need to take a page out of their book. I think maybe the next time you go on a date, you get home from your date, you call your friend up and you say, hey man, can't wait to tell you. My date was gonorific. How was yours? He's like, mine was syphilicerous. Thanks for asking. You guys can be all puffed up and tough about it. By the way, when We need to address the machismo. I saw a guy in the bar the other day who was out here like this. He was so out here that I thought he got injured on the way in. He was straight scarecrow posture. He would come up with the elbow with his beer, as if to say, I know you're going to kiss me on the cheek, faggot. It was weird. So
I know you're going to kiss me on the cheek.
But then that got me thinking, I think there's a theory behind this. So the distance one's elbows are from their body is directly proportionate to how masculine the subject finds himself to be. I have proof. Are you ready? Here we go. So here's normal guy posture. It's kind of hard because I'm sort of a badass, but normal guy. And then you have Scarecrow the D-bag. Look what happens when we crank up the masculinity. It becomes so great that it actually pulls the elbows behind the body, and you went over this guy back here, and you don't want any of this guy back here. But if we reverse the polarity on the elbows, it brings the elbows in front of the body, and now we're left with something just a little bit different. And this guy, with his elbows in front of his body,
You're
might
gonna see
say
him do
something
this
like,
one
I really hope your date was syphilis. And then this guy back here would say, I gotta be honest with you, buddy. It was just okay. That's my time.
That's Ridley, everybody. All right, a couple of quick announcements about stuff going on at the